You know, for a kid like me, I joined the group when I was 19, and really I wrote some songs and I met some great people. But there was a time, you know, there was a time in the early 70s that it started to get really tough for us, between us. And I have to really talk about this because I've never really listened to an album called Sojourn. And I know it's a great album. It was kind of like, I was lucky enough as well to be part of the London scene in the 60s and being with all the musicians. It was quite a small community, and being acquaintances of the Beatles and seeing it from the inside, it was very different to how a group looks from the outside. And I could see that it was going to happen to the Beatles. And during that time in the early 70s to us, with 5 really strong egos in the band and kind of that alpha male stuff going on, something had to give, and people increased and people decreased, and some people grew and some people crumbled, which was really bad. And it's a strange thing to happen in front of your eyes, and I could see it going on. And so we come to that time, which was really when we had the private plane. It was the greatest time. We should have grasped it, you know, with both hands and taken it, but we didn't. It just sort of, it was like smoke and just drifted away. And 5 years later, a couple of guys left, and that really had to happen. And I respected them, both their decisions that they had to. But still, I look back on the songs from that sort of 71, 72 period, and I never really thought I contributed much, particularly to an album that was #1. But at the same time, there was a mysterious thing happening, because added to this tension within the group, there was an album called Days of Future Past that was coming up the charts. It had been in the charts all of this time since 1967, and finally got to #1 in 1972. That was an odd element for us as well, to be pushing one new album. But really, my heart was with Days of Future Past as well, and wanting that to be recognised. And Nights got to the top of the charts then too. But like I say, I never really listened to that album, but I'm still drawn to it. You know how you are about these things in the time, because it was such a strong emotional time in my life. So I've looked back and chosen a couple of songs from that time. I still haven't listened to them, but Julie and Mike and Alan have. Mine's the kind of easy bit. Mine's just the bit that I did back when I wrote them. The first one of these is, what are we going to do? Oh yes, it's called And Make Believe.